Superb. So we are live and I see the audience are trickling in. I know Zoom takes a minute to connect to the audio and sometimes re-downloads for some people. So I'm going to let our audience connect to this session before I start speaking. But those of you who are in the room right now, I see 50 plus people over here right now. So if you can hear me loud and clear in the chat, let us know the city you are dialing in from. It's always great to see where our audience is coming from. So if you're able to hear me, this is also an audio test for me. So if you're able to hear me clearly, let us know the city you're dialing in from. I see Tanvi from Pune. I see the first response coming in, and I'm waiting for some more responses to come in. So around 100 people in the room.
Hi, I'm
Let us know this.
Amanda Barnett.
And I'm not sure how you're able to unmute yourself, but it was great to hear that. I see Charvi from Pune. I see Harshita from Delhi, Suraj from Bihar, Jagriti again from Delhi. So a lot of people. This is going really fast. Also, someone dialing in from Kumasi, in Ghana. So great to have you over here as well. Keep those responses coming in. We want to see the diversity of our audience, and this is always very good for us to know. Uh, Great. So while those responses come in, I'm gonna start with my introduction first. My name is Sanjay Dhingra. I'm a co-founder and the chief operating officer at Seed Global Education. My personal belief is a lot of you have attended our masterclasses or events in India or Africa with us in the past. In case you haven't done those, or if you haven't interacted with us in the past, I want to introduce our organization as well. Seed Global Education, as a higher education facilitator, specializes in facilitating interactions between top universities from around the world with top students or prospective students like yourself. We operate in Asia, Middle East, and Africa, and bring to you some of the best opportunities from around the globe so that you can take informed decisions about your higher education plans. Today's session is with William and Mary's Raymond A. Mason School of Business. As you can see on the screen, I have three speakers with me. They're all special. I'm going to do brief introductions for them very shortly. But before I do that, I want to talk about our today's session as well. So those of you who remember while registering, our today's session is about business analytics in data-driven organizations. We know that emerging technologies and trends are changing the business arena tremendously. We saw that with the emergence of ChatGPT. The whole technological world came to a standstill or a revolution, if I may say so, with ChatGPT, and we are in never before seen uncertain environment as of today. What this dynamic environment is doing, we will talk about all of that in today's session. We will review the factors affecting how businesses perform and the role of business analytics to facilitate organizational agility and resilience. Additionally, we'll talk about myths and realities related to latest technological advances, such as artificial intelligence, big data, and identify some key applications. Whom do we have as our speakers today? I have Dr. Guillermo, who is a clinical associate professor and faculty director for the MS in Business Analytics program at William and Mary's Raymond A. Mason School of Business. He's, of course, a very experienced faculty. He was also a Fulbright scholar. I'm not going to go into a detailed introduction for him, but you can, of course, look him up on the William and Mary website and read more about his research and the work that he's done over the past few decades. We also have Dr. Rachel Chung, who is a clinical associate professor of operations and information systems, again, and highly experienced faculty. And you can again read more about her on William and Mary's website as well. We also have William and Mary's Associate Dean for Graduate Admissions and Recruitment, Amanda Butt, joining us. She will tell us, post Dr. Guillermo and Dr. Rachel's presentation, she will tell us about the various programs at William and Mary, the eligibility, and also about their special scholarships, which are available through the Seed Scholarships Fund. So hold on for this session, stay with us. And at this point, I'm going to invite Dr. Guillermo to take over the screen share, run us through his presentation, post which Dr. Rachel would continue with her presentation, and we'll go in that order. So stay put with us. It's an extremely insightful session, and I'm personally looking forward to learning from them as well. Over to you, Dr. Guillermo.
Thank you so much, Sanjay. Can you see my screen, my presentation? Can you confirm? Okay, wonderful. So I'll try to be short and sweet, but I'm talking about a particular topic that I think is incredibly exciting because it is affecting all of us all the time. So I entitled this presentation "Business Analytics in Data-Driven." Oh, I'm sorry, data-driven. There, now it has been fixed. Data-driven organizations. Sorry about that. Because never before organizations have been so dependent on data to be able to create or to generate good decisions or the effective decisions to survive, for agility and resilience. So to understand what's going on, we need to take a step back and understand the past. So back in the last century, about half of the century of the 20th century, is when the computers start affecting the business world in the form of mainframes. And maybe for you, talking about a mainframe was never an issue. But if you look at the old movies with all these labs with a fake floor and air conditioning and people with ropes and the little magnetic tapes running around and looking very, very mysterious, you had these data centers that did wonders, but those wonders are probably made with a very, very cheap calculator today. But mainframes were very important because they were implemented in the business world to improve efficiency, to do more with less. And there were basically one big brain with many dumb terminals around, so everybody would be using the same brain. Then we have the advent of the PC, the personal computer, and that was a revolution by itself because now everybody at home could have one. And instead of having one big mainframe, you have a lot of different PCs connected in a client server form. That means that instead of having now one node with a brain and dumb terminals, you have one brain in the center, which was the server, and many brains around that were the clients. Then we have the internet, and the internet, even though it was not created in the 90s, is much older than that. It was the domain specific for the scientists and the military. So when it comes to when it becomes public domain and available for everybody, so that even my grandma can go and buy flowers in the internet, then our lives start changing greatly, because now our way to socialize and our way to shop changed radically. And then we have, in the beginning of this century and this millennium, the phenomenon of social media and cloud computing. So now, not even, I don't care where it is. It's like my data is in the cloud, and that doesn't mean that it's actually in the clouds, in the sky, but actually it's that I don't care what it is, as long as somebody else is taking care of it. And I can use basically limited resources up there and with people taking care of it who are specialists in doing that, rather than me taking the total cost of ownership to do so. And today we're talking about Internet of Things, because in the past, Internet was something where you would connect people and computers. Now you connect everything. You connect your toaster, you connect your fridge, you connect even your dog, right? And even so, even worse is that your fridge is intelligent, and now your fridge is going to look at you and say, okay, you're too fat. So I'm just going to give you access to the particular compartment of the lettuce, and you cannot go into the other ones that are a lot more fattening. Just kidding, but probably we're just 1 second away from that. Having said that, looking at this graph, that I think it's one of my favorites in terms of seeing where we come from, where we're heading. If we look at this part in the left, in the red circle, we see a lot of emerging technologies that are already here, that they have been developed completely, and they are fully deployed. So we have the internet, social media, mobile computing, cloud computing, and big data and analytics. These things are ever more common, and they are already affecting fully, in their full potential, the world as we see it, in the business world in particular. There are others in green that tell me that these are technologies that are being developed, that they are already developed, but they have not been completely deployed. They are not being completely appropriated in society, but they exist, like 3D printing or what is called additive manufacturing, when I can go and print a piece that I require for an airplane, rather than having to create it in the old ways by putting together say like 100 different pieces and trying to screw them and to weld them and to do other things that are a lot more expensive and less safe. Renewable energy, the Internet of Things, cognitive systems, nanotechnology, robotics, and blockchain, which we're not going to have time to talk about each one of those, but blockchain mainly is also already here. It's in the crypto coin, and it's a federated way of ensuring that a transaction is valid. Now, in the gray area on the right, I have all those technologies that are being developed and will be developed in the future, or is at least a prediction, and that will be deployed. These ones in green have been half deployed. The other ones are not really deployed. And I see many things that are so interesting, like human-machine convergence, democracy 2.0, institution 2.0, money 2.0, and the phenomena that is happening socially to the people is in the middle. So we have decline of fertility rates, an aging population, technological unemployment, and then we also see things like the changing notion of work, right? And so I am sure that probably a lot of the people who are watching this talk will be at least outliving me for 15 years. So given the technology that is happening right now, obviously the expectancy of life is increasing incredibly, and it's going to be a lot more than it was in the past, but that's going to bring a lot of problems, right? So I'm going to hurry because I am running out of time. Just so you know, we create such a ridiculous amount of data every day that represents an amazing challenge. So as we speak, this many Facebook posts have been done, and then we have this many tweets and this many LinkedIn searches and this many Instagram uploads. So what do we do with this ridiculous amount of data? What do we do to be able to make sense of it? Evermore, the organizations are trying to be some more data-driven. So data-driven means that an organization is fully dependent and it's taking the most advantage of data to do really competent decisions and being able to compete. Data for them is an asset. It's not something that is just there to aid decision-making. So in the data management area of organizations, we have the transactional databases and external data sources that are going to be converging. So through extraction, transformation, and loading, I can put all those data in some data warehouse and data marts, and then provide visualizations, reporting, and business intelligence tools to aid the decision maker in the decisions that are best supported. So analytics comes to the rescue to tell me not only what's going on in my organization and what's going on in the market, but also to help me even prescribe what I need to do. So analytics are many types of analytics. So if I want to know what happened, then I have descriptive analytics, which is the most basic. Then to understand why it happened, then diagnostic. To predict what will happen, I have predictive analytics. And to give me the solution to a potential problem or to propose a solution, I have prescriptive analytics. We go further to cognitive analytics, in which we're using a lot more of inference and a lot more artificial intelligence use. So the new way that we deal with data is not only through the famous 4 V's, but now it is 5 V's: value, validity, variety, velocity, and volume. This is what we have to deal with when we talk about big data and dealing with all this amount of information that we're generating every day. There are a few predictions here of what's going to happen in the near future. So we're saying that generative AI is expected to achieve 30%, approximately 30% of the share of overall artificial intelligence market by 2025. Also, that 90% of online content will be generated by AI by 2025. Also, by 2027, generative AI will pretty much balance the spending on structured and structured data processing and analysis software, doubling the unstructured data productive use. And unstructured data is, for instance, when we deal with images or when we deal with things that we cannot very easily assign metadata to. By 2027, there's also an outlier detection and other augmented analytics capabilities will evolve into autonomous analytics platforms that fully manage and execute 20% of the business processes. 20% of the business process completely autonomous. That's a huge amount. So to talk more about AI, I will turn the floor to Dr. Rachel Chung, who will be talking about this because she's the expert in AI, and I rather let the expert speak. Thank you. Rachel, you're on.
Thank you. Dr. Guillermo. I really appreciate your lecture. And I really have a very short discussion with people. Everybody has heard about AI. AI is all the rage right now. And so there's a lot of hype about AI. And there are also a lot of ideas about AI. Some of them are true, some of them are less so. So I want to turn this into a more interactive kind of discussion, and feel free to put in your answer in the chat. I have 7 statements here, and I would need Dr. Guillermo to help me sort of navigate, present one at a time. And I'll pause for a little bit, and I want you to tell me whether this is a truth or a myth. So the first one is AI is ChatGPT. Myth. Okay, I see a bunch of myth. Okay. And I see some yeses and so on. So that's interesting. Yeah, if you think it's a myth, if you can explain what it is, like why it's a myth, and maybe provide some explanation. AI is so much more. Actually, that's the correct answer. Thank you, Majida. Yeah, so AI encompasses a lot more than ChatGPT. So Dr. Guillermo, can we go to the next one? AI is ocean. I like that. AI, machine learning, and deep learning are all the same thing. No, myth. Okay. So if it's a myth, if they're not the same, how are they different? Yeah, if you can help us, AI is built using ML and DL. Okay, different mechanisms. Hello, can I know something how AI can predict stock market, how it'll change the perspective? Yeah, well, that's what this program is about, actually. We study AI, machine learning, and deep learning and their mechanisms, exactly how they work. You will get a deep understanding of how they're different, how they're similar, and how you can use them for different applications in the business world, including making predictions about the stock market. They are interrelated. So yes, you're right about that. They are related to each other. So machine learning is a type of AI, and deep learning is a type of machine learning. And machine learning and deep learning are all part of the AI sort of umbrella, but AI also includes other kinds of algorithms. But what does that mean to have an algorithm? How do these algorithms work is what we spend a lot of time discussing and actually practicing in this program. Dr. Guillermo, can we go to the next one, please? So all AI systems are black boxes, way harder to understand than non-AI methods. Is that a truth or a myth? Myth. Okay. So truth. Okay. So this one takes a little bit of thinking. So AI systems are black boxes if you don't understand what they are. So before you study AI systems, they are indeed black boxes. You know, that's what sort of the definition of black boxes are, things that you don't understand. But after you actually take the program and you spend some time studying, they don't have to be black boxes. They are actually understandable. And there's a very easy way to actually understand it at a conceptual level, so that you can actually make good business judgments about what's AI, what's not AI, and how to use them. So definitely, this is more of a myth than truth, because yes, they are black boxes if you don't study them. But if you study them as part of the MSBA program, for example, you can unpack these black boxes. They do not have to be mystery at all. Next, please. All AI systems are only as good as the data they train on. truth. Sanjay. Faiz, truth, mostly a yes. Okay, so a lot of you agree. So I'm glad to hear that. So sounds like you have a pretty good understanding that AI systems do rely on data and they do learn from data. And so the quality of the data set is very, very important. However, that's not just because the data set is less than perfect, does that mean that you cannot use AI at all? There are actually all sorts of creative solutions around data issues. And even in situations where there's very little data, there are actually very clever solutions, including synthetic data options that are actually widely available in the finance world and also in healthcare. And so AI systems do need good data quality, but I would say that there are lots and lots of opportunities to fix the data problems and still be able to launch AI and use AI systems for businesses that don't necessarily have huge amounts of data or huge amounts of good data. Next, please. AI systems are inherently unfair. True or false? So I see a lot of falses. That depends. True, some truth, some false. Okay, due to data, it's applicable. Okay. Okay, so I see that again we're a little divided here. So I see that it's some of you agree, some of you disagree, which is great, you know, and this is the kind of discussion that we love to have in the classroom when people have different opinions about AI, and we can really go deep. Usually I spend a whole class session on fairness, right, and responsibility, and how fairness is defined, and think about how whether humans are always fair, right? And if AI makes unfair judgments, where does that come from? Does that come from the data, from the system, a little bit of the combination from the humans that use the AI? It is actually not as easy to truly understand. A lot of times it's a combination, but most of the unfair responses that we see actually comes from the data, and the data comes from people, right? And so depending on whether when you talk about AI systems, do you just talk about the algorithm itself, or do you include the data? The answer is not always as straightforward, and it's actually a very interesting and fascinating topic to explore that has lots of implications for policies and for regulations, for business compliances, and also for ethical decisions. So again, I would love the opportunity to explore this fascinating topic with you in class. Next, please. AI will make human labor obsolete. Myth. Interesting. Yeah, I like to hear more why you think it's not true. It'll support us to automate. Not possible. Truth. Okay. Again, we get different opinions, which is why these topics are so much fun. Okay, it depends. Okay, Miss, depends on how far we go with AI. Yeah, so again, I like how a lot of you have this perspective that we're really in this sort of journey of AI revolution right now. Things are changing. So the answer may be different, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But at the moment, it is not possible for AI to make human labor obsolete based on what we have seen so far. So AI right now is very good at very, very narrow tasks. So for example, playing chess, or ChatGPT is very good at summarizing documents, and that has already been written by humans. However, a lot of human work, professional work, includes a bunch of different tasks. It's not just a single task, and it also requires a lot of judgment, a lot of generation of new content. And these are many, and a lot of creativity. And AI usually is very good at doing one small task, but it's not very good at doing multiple different tasks together. So that's what we call general artificial intelligence. And we have not seen that happening using the current paradigm. It would definitely requires a revolution in terms of the algorithm design, but with the current design, the experts do not seem to think that general artificial intelligence is anywhere near us yet. So I do not, I'm glad that most of you, actually many of you, think that this is not going to happen anytime soon. We still need all of you to work hard, and many companies are trying to hire people, smart people like you, to actually use AI for innovation. So the next one I have on the list, I only have a couple minutes left. AI is approaching human intelligence. So this is what we just talked about, that AI is very good at certain narrow tasks, but it's nowhere near general human intelligence. I encourage you to take a look at a baby, a 3-year-old, and think about how much a baby has to learn to master a bunch of different tasks. Our AI, none of the AIs can do what a 2-year-old can do in terms of learning, and learning very fast with very few examples. There are lots and lots of talents that human babies have that an AI still struggles with. So there's still a long way to go. AI is very exciting, and we need more people like you that can understand AI, can use AI innovatively, can be confident in leveraging AI for improving business innovations. So that's my presentation. Thank you so much for being so engaging. I really enjoy seeing all your participation and your thoughts. Please feel free to stay in touch if you have any questions and would like to talk more about AI. Feel free to reach out to me.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Rachel. Thank you, Dr. Guillermo. This was extremely insightful. Usually we don't participate in the pop quizzes like this, but this was very tempting. I couldn't hold back. So thank you for this. Extremely informative. To our audience, we have 450 people in this room right now, by the way. If you have any questions for Dr. Guillermo or Dr. Rachel, I know she has to leave shortly, but if you have quick 1 or 2 questions for them, post them in the Q&A box, and I would be happy to pick them up on your behalf and ask them to give you some clarity as well. If not, then I want to invite Amanda Bart, who is the Assistant Dean for Graduate Admissions at their business school, the Raymond A. Mason School of Business, to tell us more about the various programs, including the MSBA program, the eligibility for all their programs, and also the special scholarships that they have available through the Seed Scholarships Fund. Those of you who missed this, I had posted this in the chat. By attending this session, you have become eligible to apply for those special scholarships. I posted a link for the same. I would post it again in a short while. You have also become eligible to request for an application fee waiver for their various programs. So if you're interested in those, stay put, and we would hear from Amanda about how you can avail all these exclusive benefits. Before I hand over the screen to Amanda, I want to thank Dr. Guillermo and Dr. Rachel. I don't see any questions from the audience right now for you, but this has been extremely insightful. The presentation was brilliant. I really enjoyed this session. Thank you again for joining us for this session. And over to you, Amanda.
Thank you so much. And thank you again, Professor Guillermo and Professor Rachel. You are our rock stars in business analytics at William & Mary. So it's an honor to share your talent with all of the prospective students on the call today. Sanjay, I am going to share my screen so that I can offer a small slide deck. I'll give an overview of William & Mary, and I saw some great questions about how to get into the program. So it is my pleasure to answer some of those questions today. So hopefully you all are seeing my slide deck okay? Positive, Sanjay? Okay, very good.
Yes,
all right.
absolutely.
Well, for those of you who are not familiar with William and Mary, it's important that we take a small step back in time to share our unique history. William and Mary, in fact, is the second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. Arguably, we were founded right after Harvard and chartered in 1693. We are also considered one of 8 original public Ivy League institutions. We've earned the public Ivy League designation because of the highest level of academic quality and excellence and teaching among our faculty. You saw a glimpse of that today. We are also located in a beautiful and very historic region of the United States. Our city is called Williamsburg, Virginia, and it was the colonial capital of the original colonies in the United States and the original capital of the state of Virginia. We're located only about a 2-hour drive outside of Washington, D.C., and I'm calling you all from a recruiting visit today in New York, so a short 45-minute plane ride to New York City. Our position and location in the U.S. is really crucial because we are surrounded by major companies and employment outcomes and opportunities for our students. Of course, we also boast some exciting rankings because of our history and the academic quality. But the one that you saw today that I would say is most important is our faculty. For the last 5 years, we have earned the #1 designation in learning by Bloomberg Businessweek. And that ranking comes from alumni and current student feedback about the quality of their teaching and instruction and the accessibility of William and Mary professors. You will not be taught by graduate assistants at William and Mary. You will have access to our full faculty, such as Professor Rodriguez Ebitia, Dr. Guillermo, and also Professor Rachel Chung. The Princeton Review echoes those sentiments and gives us a #5 ranking for best professors. We also rank #13 for networking, and our business school is ranked #36 overall. There are many opportunities for you all to learn. I know many of you are excited about business analytics after what you saw today, but business analytics feeds into all aspects of business. So in our portfolio at the Raymond A. Mason School, we offer a Master of Science in Business Analytics. We also offer a Master of Accounting degree, and we have a full-time MBA program that has a specialization in business analytics as well. The good news for our global candidates is that we have taken the time to ensure that our MSBA, our Master of Accounting, and our full-time MBA program are all STEM designated in business analytics, accounting, finance, and also supply chain. And what that means for you as a candidate is if you earn your degree in one of these spaces, of course, you'll have eligibility for a 1-year work authorization in the United States with the possibility of extending it to 2 additional years for a total of 3 years work authorization, so long as you're working in a STEM designated role after graduation. And we have a very robust graduate career management center who helps our graduate business students exclusively to find job opportunities in the United States. And they have a really unique perspective for understanding some of the challenges and goals of our international students as well. So you will have dedicated career advising at William and Mary. A small overview of both programs, and then I'll talk a little bit about admissions requirements. So I covered that the MSBA is STEM designated, but I didn't cover that it's open to all majors. So you do not need to be a business analytics or business undergraduate, a BCom grad, to participate. It really is open to all majors. We will work with you to either fulfill some prerequisites in the quantitative or the technical spaces. We look for different programming and coding languages, but Dr. Guillermo and his team have also put together some wonderful boot camps that we can put you through to get you up to speed to be prepared and ready to immerse in the program. Overall, the program takes about 10 months to complete, so it is a very swift, immersive learning experience, again, with direct access to our professors. One of the best outcomes for both business analytics and accounting is our career placement. We boast 90% job opportunities within the 3-month marker after graduation and an average salary of $80,000 US after graduation. So that's just the slice about MSBA. I'll talk just a moment about the Master of Accounting because, again, these specialty options are open to all candidates from all around the world. Accounting is STEM designated, again, open to all majors. We'll put you through any preparatory boot camps needed to get you up to speed. They share this same career management center team and the same accessibility to jobs. But accounting firms are so desperate for talent in the United States and around the world. The MAC outcomes are at 100% opportunities at all the Big Four firms. And the average MAC salary starts at around $70,000. But what I would encourage students to look at is the progression of a MAC graduate with over a decade. So it starts at about 70. Within 3 years, students are usually clearing the $100,000 to $120,000 job market. And then from there, progression is really exciting as graduates become partners with firms. I didn't talk a lot about the full-time MBA because I know a lot of our candidates on the call today might be coming in directly out of undergrad or with only a year or so work experience. But if you're a candidate that finds yourself with 3 to 4 years of work experience or more, and you think I might want a more full-time MBA opportunity, we certainly offer that at William & Mary as well. Again, with the business analytics specialization, but also with the ability to do what we call a combined degree. You can even do an MBA program in year 1 and then add on the MSBA for year 2 for 2 great outcomes. So I'm certainly available offline after this session to talk a little bit about all the options in our portfolio. The application requirements for the programs are pretty much the same, and I'll share that information with you. Like all schools, we have a very easy and accessible online application. So if you simply go to our website, you'll see an application portal for all of our programs. We need you to have your undergraduate degree complete or to be in your final year in order to apply for the programs. And we do accept a 3-year degree from India and from other reputable countries and institutions throughout the world. So we do honor the highest quality of the Indian education system as an example, but a 3-year degree is acceptable. You'll share your unofficial transcripts. You'll upload them into our system, and that's how we start to evaluate you. And then the GMAT or GRE, while optional for MSBA, because we can look for other technical characteristics and achievements, for the Master of Accounting degree, we do need either a GMAT or GRE, and that's a requirement of the CPA organization. We'll also ask candidates to write a resume. They'll have to write a brief essay sharing their goals and objectives for study. And finally, you'll be able to do an admissions interview with our team. Don't get too nervous about the admissions interview at William & Mary. We're not grilling you. It's a chance for us to get to know you, to make sure your goals and objectives align with what we're offering, and a chance for us to talk a little bit more about William & Mary and why it might be a right fit for you. And then finally, we are great partners with SEED. We have had wonderful opportunities to travel in country to recruit students with SEED, and we are very supportive of candidates working with the organization. We're a SEED scholarship provider. We'll offer a minimum of approximately 25% scholarship all the way up to full tuition. We are getting a little later in the season for the full award. So what I would tell students now is that we will guarantee the 25% scholarship for our programs. The scholarship is focused on helping with your tuition needs. And then another point is that we tie up with 3 global loan providers. For India, we use Empower and also Prodigy. And then we have another organization for West African students. So we will point you in the right direction for both scholarship and loan opportunities with no U.S. cosigner. And remember, when you borrow on your education for the United States, you need to calculate your overall ROI. So what you borrow now will be paid back when you're earning your internship salaries, your first job signing bonuses, and then, of course, your salaries should be very healthy working in the United States. And we have a robust graduate career management program to help you get there. We still have applications open for fall of 2024. So if any of you are thinking, I want to do this and I want to get started in August, then I highly encourage you to race to our website this weekend and maybe next weekend to take a look at everything we offer and to submit an application. We want to leave enough time on the back end so that students can secure study visas if they decide to join us at William and Mary. I want to leave you with my contact information. Once again, I'm Amanda Barth. I serve as Associate Dean of Graduate Admissions and Recruitment for all the programs in our residential portfolio. I have been in country to India 15 times. I was just with Sanjay and his team in October, and I've traveled to West Africa 3 times already, to Nigeria and Ghana. I've been around the world to about 55 countries to recruit the best and brightest to join us at William and Mary. So please take down my contact information. You can find me on the website. And Dr. Guillermo, I want to thank you again for your time. You are such a wonderful partner joining me in admissions on behalf of MSBA. So I invite you to share your final greetings with the students, and then we'll turn it back over to Sanjay.
No, the contrary. I thank you for the invitation. I hope I was not too rushed, but I was really concerned about Rachel, having the time, and I'm glad because I see that they really enjoyed Rachel's presentation. That was the whole idea, and it is wonderful. Is there any way that we can help you make a better decision, an informed decision, and make your life easier to transit to these programs? Let us know, and we'll be there.
Dr. Guillermo, before you leave, I do have a question from our audience for you. If you're comfortable, I want to pick that up.
Yeah, I noticed a few questions there that I might be able to address. Perfect.
So please do stay back. We are right in the Q&A, and we can pick up those questions for you as well. In fact, the very first question that I want to pick up is around spirituality. So, India is
I'm not sure I understand the question really. So it says, is spirituality can help related to AI and machine learning? It's a tricky question, though, right? And I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. But yeah, I guess we can talk all night about it, right?
So apparently, Steve Jobs came up with a lot of innovation after we visited India on a spiritual trip. So can spirituality really help advanced AI and machine learning as well? Is there something deeper?
I think anything can help, in the sense that AI is being learning all the time. The models learn, and they learn from different insights in many different ways. So I cannot off my sleeve say how, but I'm sure it can. It's just a matter of finding out. That would be an interesting question to research.
Super. Great. Thank you. Are you comfortable for some more time? Are you comfortable staying back with us?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
So I'm going to pick up questions for both Amanda and you. I see the audience questions have started coming in. My request to the audience is don't post your questions in the chat. It's very difficult for us to monitor the questions coming in the chat box.
I see a couple, Shandy, that I might be able to address, if that's okay. But they relate more to the program. So Amanda, is that okay with you?
Yeah, go.
So there's one saying that if there are any courses that are a blend of business and technical skills. Sure. So the program is very technical. I have to say what distinguishes our program is that it's very close to data science, it's very technical, and that's a big strength identified by our employers. The business acumen, however, is very present. In one of the classes, the starting foundational course, which is Competing Through Business Analytics, that's when we try to center all the use of all these technologies in the strategic and the business areas. So yes, we have cases and we have ways in which say, what is the impact of this in the business? Then when you get into courses like artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning 1 and 2, or database management, what we try to do is always use business cases. So we are applying this to business problems. So in a data science major, they might be talking about, modeling the stars. We don't. We basically get into the business realm, and we try to solve business applications. At the end, in the capstone project, you do a project for a real company with a real prompt in real data provided by the company. So it's very, very business oriented so that it makes sense and it has a value for them. And normally they get blown away by the quality of the projects. There was another one that I saw somewhere around that was if you can come in with a life science major, yes, sure you can. And when does it start? So what happens now is that we have, as Amanda was saying, a boot camp. So you can come in from any major. You can be biology, you can be public policy, you can be whatever. If you're interested in this, it's okay. But you, of course, you do have to have a certain level of technical skills in certain areas, particularly linear algebra, statistics, programming in Python and programming in R. So if you don't have it, it's okay. We'll give it to you. So what happens is once you are admitted, we provide you with access to certain resources online to help you prepare for the boot camps. And we definitely encourage you to, I mean, everybody automatically is already registered for the boot camp. If you come from a very technical area and you are really competent and proficient in R, for instance, you can test out, but that's the only way out, okay? I'm not gonna give it to you just because you studied it in college. It's not that. You have to prove it in a test. Otherwise, but we encourage you not to do it because the boot camp is gonna help you brush up your skills and get you up to speed so that you are gonna be using, in half the classes, you're gonna be using R. In the other half of the classes, you're gonna be using Python. Why would you like to skip the boot camp? I mean, it's something that you're required to live in the program. So take it, right? So we're gonna give the boot camp takes place right before starting classes. Classes start in late August. So we're talking about the month of August, you're doing boot camp because somebody was asking that. So we start in August and we end in April. So it's going to be a quick ride, a very intensive ride, but it's going to be exhausting, but you're going to be very happy at the end. I don't know if I'm missing anything else here. Somebody was saying, Amanda, if they can come in with a master's degree, I think the answer is, of course, you can, right?
Yes.
After joining your program, is there a
Dr.
possibility
Dr.
of getting
what I can do is I can run through the questions and pick up the relevant ones.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Amanda, I want to bring you in on that master's question. So there's Sananda who's got a postgraduate degree with 4 years of work experience. Firstly, can she apply for the programs and does she become eligible for the scholarships?
Yeah, so what I would tell students is, of course, so long as you haven't done the MSBA somewhere else already. So, and the range of work experience, you know, we don't mind. It can be no work experience for MSBA all the way up to 20 years. What I'm going to tell you all based on tuition, scholarship, the process for that, you should plan on investing in your education. And so I saw a question, do you offer 100%? Rarely for the MSBA program. We did have a student earn that through SEED this year, which was great, but we can only give 1 or 2 awards. So we're done with that for the season, but now there's a 25% discount. You just have to let us know you're a SEED scholar. But where I'm going with this, if tuition is around 45 to 50,000 USD and you get the small scholarship, it might take it down to around 40,000. That amount of money you can borrow from one of our loan providers. And then what we're talking to you about with ROI, I know it's not Indian culture or West African culture to borrow money, but it's how the US students fund their education. And I understand you're going to need to work afterwards, but your salary progression is a lot higher. I mean, where else are you going to earn 80,000, 90,000, 100,000 US dollars? So our students do commit to the MSBA understanding that they'll pay the money back over a 10-year period. So when you borrow from one of these loan providers, you have a 10-year payback. I might shock you all, but I borrowed money to go to William and Mary for graduate school in 2004, and I had to work to pay off my loans, and it's just a part of life today. I also do believe that students should invest in this so that they work harder and the outcomes are greater because you actually have what we call a little skin in the game. You are investing in yourself. So I want to be honest because I think students that just schools can hand out tuition. We would love to. We don't have those endowments set up yet. Maybe in the future we'll have very wealthy donors or somebody who will create something for us in AI who will then endow scholarships. But for now, you know, we do try to keep tuition reasonable because we're a public school, and then students are able to, of course, compete for scholarships. We've lined up loan funders, and the ROI is really there with an MSBA, MAC, or MBA from William & Mary. That's why we caution you, don't go to a school that's going to hand it out, because you may not get a job when you graduate anyway. So go to a top-ranked school. Any school probably in the top 100 in the United States is a strong opportunity, but just ensure that their career management center is able to help and that the outcomes are viable, because you will have expenses going to grad school. Sorry, the lecture, Sanjay. I want to make sure we're helping people.
No, absolutely. No, this was absolutely bang on. So Amanda, one follow-up over here. So I know there's 100% scholarship, which has already been given out for the Masters of Accounting program, one for the MSc as well. But I understand you have one available you still have one available for the MBA program. So can candidates with work experience apply to the MBA program and try for that?
They can, but we're probably getting ready to award it in round 2. So we're already there. You do have to have a GMAT in hand to compete for that for the full-time MBA. So we would look for about 4 years of work experience, maybe 3 to 5 years of work experience. You do have to have a competitive GPA, and for that it would be above a 680 for us at William & Mary. And everything has to be spot on. So we aren't just giving money for seed, we're giving it to the best and brightest.
Absolutely. So that's how it should be. And this is perfect, Sananda. So maybe not this year, but for next year, you can try for the seed scholarships as well. And if not, till in the meanwhile, of course, apply to the program. It's a wonderful school, wonderful location, and of course, wonderful people as well.
Yes.
And as Amanda mentioned, you will be considered for the 25% scholarships, which they still have available. Great. Amanda, I want to continue on this line. What is the class size for the MSBA program? And if you have it, then also the class sizes for the Masters of Accounting and the MBA programs.
Yeah, so it really ranges. MSBA should be between 70 and sometimes 85 students. The Master of Accounting program will have 50 students this season, and the MBA program is usually 100 to 110. So small class sizes. You will not be thrown in with a sea of 400, 500 people. And this is a very different learning environment, having the opportunity to learn in the United States, a different education structure. Faculty are entirely unique. Professor Guillermo is extra special because he has taught from around the world and is a global faculty member. So you'll also have access to professors from all over. Guillermo is originally from Mexico, and we really, really appreciate that global influence and the contribution in our program.
I also make wonderful tacos, by the way.
He does.
I'm planning a visit already.
You all are more than welcome to visit. If any of you find yourself near Washington, D.C. or Virginia, please call me. We would welcome your visit. We'll plan for you to sit in on class, tour the campus. We'll take great care of you. So it's an open invite for anyone who is visiting.
Super. Dr. Guillermo, I want to ask you one question, and this is around AI and material sciences or business analytics, let's say in manufacturing domains. So I'm reinventing Sugun's question over here, who's asking if it's possible to combine material science with AI. But if I can rephrase it, is it possible to look at business analytics or analytics in a manufacturing domain? How is that playing a role?
Of course it is. So in the program, actually, we take not only we talk about AI and machine learning, we also talk about optimization, and we talk about heuristic algorithms and things that are completely applicable to the manufacturing area. And we apply everything that we use to whatever particular business problem that might be, no matter what. So in some of our capstone projects, we have actually done some solutions for manufacturing. So yes, you can. It's just a matter of, I mean, it's just as wide, the range of application of these tools is incredibly big. By the way, somebody was asking about particular tools. May I answer that question, Sanjay?
No,
So basically what we do is we use R and Python. We use MySQL for databases. We use Alteryx for ETL. We use Tableau for visualization. We use Gurobi for optimization, TensorFlow, and some of the others for AI and machine learning. And basically all the stats are done not with SPSS or SAS, but in R. So I'm probably missing a few of the tools, but that pretty much should give you an idea. Thank you.
Super. Great. So Shruti, I hope that answers your question, gives you a great insight over here or about that as well. Amanda, one question which I want to take up, this is around eligibility and requirements. A lot of schools require international students to submit credential evaluations, either a WES, WES, or a NACES certified agency to do that evaluation. Does William and Mary and Raymond A. Mason School require that as well?
Sanjay, right now, while I am the Dean of Admission, I do not require it because I am so familiar with the universities in India, West Africa, Southeast Asia, all over the world. So long as they are in English, I do not require it. I'm familiar with the quality of the schools, the competitive specializations, and also the grading scales. So until I retire, students don't need to do that. When I retire, the rules might change. I'm kidding. For right now, no, we don't need a WES evaluation.
Superb. So Patricia, I hope this helps you and even others who are struggling with the credential evaluations, because it's taking a lot of time with WES and other institutions. And of course, it costs quite a bit as well. At William and Mary, you don't need the credential evaluation right now till the time we have Amanda over there. So this is your opportunity to make an application without submitting a credential evaluation as well. Super. I want to take up some questions, and Dr. Guillermo, this is a question asked by Uday, who's already working in data science. He wants to understand more about the program features for the business analytics program. Would he get to learn more about generative AI and the various other domains of AI as well? And what is the possibility of getting into a good data science, ML, or AI engineer role after completing the program?
We do not teach generative AI. We teach AI in general. So, and obviously, I mean, if you do a particular project that you're interested in generative AI, you're welcome, but it's not part of the program. We do teach the typical tools of AI. And if you come from data science, you probably already know that, okay? So basically, the only difference coming from data science is that you will be applying this to business acumen. And the possibility of still being a data scientist, yes, many of our graduates have that title. They are data scientists in businesses, and some others are analysts. So some of them work in consulting, and some of them are more related to probably data management in SQL. So there is a variety of jobs that they take, but yes, you can be still a data scientist, but the only difference is that you're going to have some more business application in your resume.
Yeah, and Sanjay, we probably didn't cover all the companies. There's a list on our website. So go to our website and dig in, but Amazon, Accenture, Bank of America, Capital One, Deloitte, IBM, EY, KPMG, Microsoft, Google, you name it. So our students have had wonderful career outcomes from William & Mary. Again, we are a top-rated business school in the country, and William & Mary is a prominent brand in North America and a growing brand around the world. You will have strong employment outcomes. And Professor Guillermo is going to laugh at this, but now when I'm counseling students, they ask me about jobs, and I say, so long as you do what we ask you to do, if you don't have a job, it's on your shoulders. I mean, a student that does everything that is in place should have a very successful outcome. And if they don't, then they are not maintaining the task and meeting with the career team, because our students are very successful.
We have a wonderful career management center.
We sure do.
They take you by the hand from the moment you step in the School of Business until they place you. I mean, they're really, really good.
They are. We call them the dream team, Sanjay.
So Amanda, on the same lines, I know you did talk about this a bit in your presentation, but the OPT and CPT process can be a little confusing for the audience sometimes. If you don't mind running them through once more, what OPT stands for, what CPT stands for, and how does it all come together?
Absolutely. So OPT is your optional practical training. That is the 1 year that you get after you complete a program. So in the example of MSBA, As soon as you complete it, you'll go right in and use the 1-year OPT. There's not an internship in between, but you'll go out and work. If you work in a STEM company, because we are a STEM designated business analytics program, you'll have the opportunity to extend out for 2 more years. So a total of 3 years if you're working in a business analytics role for IBM or Microsoft that is a STEM role. The reason that the US government did that is because we have a bit of a brain drain. We want the talent from India and other places to fill the gaps in the United States for employment. And that's where the hot jobs are around the world, but also in the United States. So, investment banking and brand management, not quite the same. We need talent in big data analytics and other spaces like that. So that's the reason for the STEM. It's not just a ploy, but we really want students to be able to come and contribute to earn money and to pay back their degree. So that is valid for our MSBA, our Master of Accounting, and the full-time MBA, so long as you specialize in business analytics, supply chain, and finance. The only area where CPT comes in is for the full-time MBA because it's a 2-year program. You have to have work authorization for that summer to get paid in your internship. And William & Mary's full-time MBA program has 100% paid internship every single year. And so you will have a summer internship, and that's using your CPT time. So that's it in a nutshell. Don't pick your major based on visa authorization, because we hope you'll all go into our lottery and try for the H-1B. And who knows, you might be working in Dubai or London. We're not just a regional MBA program. So go with your passion, go with your talent. Don't just, think I've got to do business analytics because that's the only way to get STEM. You should do business analytics because it's exciting, it's fascinating, it's where the jobs are, and it's going to give you so much leverage in any job function that you have. We could argue the roster of industries that require a good competency in business analytics and data tools.
But somebody was asking if online programs provided to, they don't, right? The OPT.
No, they can't do it because you have to be residential here in the United States. So the online option doesn't. And I really would, online is great. We have a fabulous online opportunity at William & Mary, but if your goal is to work in North America, and you need the ROI, I would really caution, because online programs typically don't scholarship. They're very expensive, and then you don't have the work authorization. So, just be very cautious about what you want out of the experience. They're fabulous programs, though, just a completely different modality and mindset. I-20 questions. Hi, Emmanuel. It's great to see you. We've been working with you on the I-20. As soon as a student pays their tuition deposit to William & Mary, that's when the I-20 process starts. We can't do anything until a student has paid their deposit to enroll. After they do that, the Reese Center works with them very closely.
Perfect. So a lot of support available once you've gotten admit, you pay your deposit. That's when all the support for the I-20 starts.
Yeah.
I know we are over time, but I want to take up 1 or 2 last questions before we wrap up. This is a question from Sandeep asking about the popular specializations in the MBA program. Amanda, firstly, how many specializations does the William & Mary MBA program offer?
There are 5. So consulting, finance, business analytics, and supply chain, marketing, and innovation and entrepreneurship. I always call them the big boys are business analytics, supply chain, consulting, finance. And then again, business analytics, supply chain, and finance are STEM designated. Consulting is a catch-all for Irma, I'm going to say for all of William & Mary, because we are a core consulting business school. So many of our William & Mary graduates across the portfolio can easily go into consulting for all the big 4 firms.
Super. So Sandeep, I believe that gives you a picture. You can, of course, check out the website, check out the programs and the details over there as well. Amanda, one last question I want to pick up is around the average tuition fee for various programs. So
yeah, it depends on the program. So they range between about 48,000 US dollars to the full-time MBA, which is about 100,000 US dollars. Nobody typically pays the full amount unless they are kind of a borderline admit. We do merit-based scholarships. So we look at your undergrad CAP GPA. If you submit a test score, we take that into consideration. If you don't, then we look for other qualifications like the work experience. We do look at work experience. We want to make sure that you're very professional, be very, very professional in the way that you approach the admissions team. You cannot just keep sending emails with small questions. You need to be formal. You need to be able to research our website independently because we're looking for students who are able to work independently, who kind of understand how to problem solve. And sometimes students will actually say, Amanda, how do I find your online application? And my thought is if you can't go to a website and find an online application, you're in a lot of trouble for business school. So I laugh when I say that, but I'm trying to give some really good advice on how you should treat me like your boss at your company. You should treat Professor Yermo as if he is manager. And how would you communicate with those individuals? You would be very well researched and you would understand your problem before you would go in and talk to them. So we are incredibly supportive, but we're also trying to teach you lessons for how to navigate graduate school, the very professional work environment and competitive work environment in North America. But if you learn from us and you embrace it all, you will be so successful. I think about my friends like Sanjay and Paris around the world who've earned degrees, and you are so polished, you are so successful. This is what we want you all to have, or to become a professor down the line like Professor Yermo. You'll have all the tools if you really do this properly. I hope that helps, Sanjay.
Absolutely does. And I'm sure they'll learn quite a bit at William and Mary and make the most of it as well. With that, I want to take your permission to wrap up this session. We are slightly over time already, but to our audience, some quick reminders. As I mentioned earlier, by attending this session, you have become eligible to request for application fee waivers. So check out Wait for Communication from Seed Global Education. In the next 1 or 2 days, you should get a WhatsApp from us, which would lay out the application fee waiver process for your codes that you can use to apply to William and Mary and secure the application fee waiver. Similarly, if you're looking to apply for the exclusive scholarships that William and Mary has available through the Seed Scholarships Fund, I'm posting the link once more in the chat. The next application deadline, I understand, is 15th of March, Amanda?
Yes, just to be on task for visa opportunities for study visas.
So you still have over a month, so 1 month and 1 week slightly about that to make your applications, but don't wait till the very last moment. Make your application soon. It is competitive. There are a lot of candidate students already applying, so don't wait till the last minute to submit your application. I know I'm leaving a few questions unanswered. Sananda, your question about other scholarships. Yes, we work with some other schools as well. You can find about those on our website as well. But our today's focus is on William and Mary, Raymond A. Mason School of Business. And this has been extremely insightful session. Thank you, Dr. Guillermo. Please do convey our thanks to Dr. Rachel as well. Both of you were amazing. I personally enjoyed the session, loved it. And to our audience, while Amanda mentioned to treat them as your bosses and managers, I would say this, that they're amongst the most friendliest people I have personally ever met. And I have had multiple interactions with their faculty, Amanda and the rest of their team. They're amongst the most friendly people out there. So if you have any questions, any concerns, want clarity on any aspect, of course, do your research, put in the effort, but remember, help is available. So feel free to reach out to them or reach out to the Seed team, and we would try to help you to the best of our ability as well. I hope this helps you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once more, Amanda. Thank you, Dr. Guillermo. And thank you
for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Great. You too. Thank you, everyone.
See you in Virginia.
Fingers crossed.